Still Christian, Rediscovering Faith. Still Christian, Rediscovering Faith Beyond Labels. Part 1. Introduction. What remains when the labels are gone? Welcome back to the channel. In our previous 2 videos, we talked about the theology of change and the roadmap for a new kind of Christianity. But today, we are getting personal. We are diving into the heart and history of the man behind those ideas, Dr. David P. Gushee, through his powerful memoir, Still Christian. This book is Gushee's answer to a terrifying question. If you leave the institution that gave you your identity, your career, and your friends, what do you have left? For many, walking away from the church feels like walking off a cliff. But Gushee shows us that sometimes stripping away the religious labels is the only way to truly follow in the footsteps of Jesus. If you are tired of the culture wars, but still hungry for a meaningful spiritual life, this story is for you. Let's explore the journey of a man who lost his religion but kept his faith. Part 2. From Catholic Boy to Evangelical Titan. David Gushee's story is a fascinating arc of American religious life. The journey in. He began as a suburban Catholic boy, but experienced a born-again conversion that led him deep into the world of Southern Baptists and the Evangelical movement. He wasn't just a casual member, he became an intellectual giant. He spent decades studying, teaching, and writing the textbooks that would shape a generation of evangelical leaders. The peak of the mountain. At the height of his career, Gushee was a voice of authority. He sat at the center of the evangelical world, representing its values in the media and in the academy. But as he climbed higher, he began to notice a widening gap. He saw a rift between the radical, self-sacrificing love taught by Jesus and the way religious institutions practiced power, especially regarding political influence and social control. He began to realize that the brand of his religion was starting to contradict the spirit of his faith. Part 3. The Lover's Quarrel and the Price of Truth. Gushee describes his departure from evangelicalism not as a cold academic exit, but as a lover's quarrel. It was a painful, messy breakup with a community he deeply loved. The cost of integrity. The breaking point came when Gushee chose to follow his conscience on high-stakes issues, specifically his public support for the LGBTQ+ community and his vocal opposition to systemic injustice. In the world of high-stakes religion, these weren't just differences of opinion. They were seen as acts of treason. The pain of exile. The book is incredibly honest about the dark night of the soul. Gushee lost his status. He lost long-time friendships, and he was effectively exiled from the very community he helped build. The kitsch tienge, the raw drama of the book, lies in this loneliness. It forces us to reflect on our own lives. Are we brave enough to stand for what is right if it means losing our seat at the table? Part 4. Analysis, redefining the title. Why did he title the book Still Christian? It's a deliberate choice that carries 3 major lessons. 1. Jesus is the center, not the culture. Gushee realized that American evangelicalism had become a cultural and political shell. By cracking that shell open and throwing it away, he found the actual Jesus underneath, the one who stood with the outcasts, the one who spoke truth to power, and the one who modeled radical mercy. 2. Faith beyond the 4 walls. He stopped defining his faith by which church he attended or which denomination he checked on a form. Instead, he began to measure his faith by his integrity, his treatment of the vulnerable, and his commitment to the truth. 3. Faith as a marathon, not a sprint. The book serves as a message of hope for the spiritual exiles. It suggests that while you might lose your religion, you can find a more authentic faith. Being still Christian for Gushee means that while he is no longer part of the club, he is more committed to the mission of Christ than ever before. Part 5. Conclusion. Listen to the call of the heart. Still Christian is a handbook for anyone standing on a threshold, not yet at peace with the old, but not yet sure where the new path leads. It reminds us that our primary loyalty is not to a system, but to the truth of our own souls. Thank you for following this 3-part series on David P. Gushee. I hope these summaries have given you a fresh perspective on the evolving landscape of faith and ethics. What is the one value you would never compromise, even if it cost you your community? Let's share our thoughts and support each other in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue discovering the books that speak to the deepest parts of the human experience. Until next time, be brave, stay kind, and walk your path with peace. Goodbye.